Nintendo plans Switch model with bigger Samsung OLED display. Now, we've covered this so many times, and it's getting annoying because it it comes from a source like Bloomberg. Like I covered one that came from Bloomberg also, which said, "Oh, we saw some in Taiwan. There was a factory that made a deal with Nintendo or something like that, and the Nintendo's gonna have the Switch might have 4K screens, right?"
Okay.
So that was last year, early last year, that they came out with that article. And since then, how many times have we seen about the Switch Pro?
Almost weekly.
Almost weekly. So this one is another one from Bloomberg, and uh,
But this one has a little bit
it's
more
more credible.
specifics.
It's yeah, it's more
It goes
credible.
into specific more.
Yeah. So let's read this real quick. So Nintendo plans to unveil a model of its Switch gaming console equipped with a bigger Samsung OLED display this year, hoping the larger touchscreen can prop up demand in time for the holidays. People familiar with the plan said. So they definitely had a source, and that source told them that it is Nintendo planning this deal with Samsung.
Yes. And I
Samsung,
mean, and here's the thing. I don't think the previous rumors about um, the Switch, a new model of the Switch,
mhm,
included like hard or name dropping another company like this.
yeah. Well, the one,
Aside from Nvidia, usually it's Nvidia,
yeah,
but Nvidia is already tied to the console because they made the processor. But in terms of the actual like screen or any other components, like rare, I've never seen another company tied to Nintendo like this
yes,
in a rumor
yeah. So
for the Switch Pro.
yeah, yeah. No, you're right. Except the one Bloomberg one, they did mention a company in Taiwan,
Oh,
but it wasn't like
it was a made up company. I'm kidding.
I don't
Do you
remember. You
remember?
can
Do you
find the
remember what it
article.
was?
We have it actually. I every time
We
I
covered it.
yeah, we covered it. Every time I put a video, I put the source in the comments. So yeah, I should have gone back and looked at it, but I didn't have time. But let me just continue reading something because all right. Samsung Display Co. will start mass producing of 7-inch 720p resolution OLED panels as early as June, with an initial monthly target of just under 1 million units, said the people, who asked not to be identified discussing internal matters.
Those people.
The displays are slated for shipment to assemblers around July, the people said. Representatives for Nintendo and Samsung Display declined to comment. So there you go. Um, that's so okay. Let's first talk about the display. Do you think? Let's not talk because we don't know any other improvements they're gonna have, right? Those like they could upgrade the hardware more. We don't know, but let's just say based off the display, would you upgrade?
No.
Okay.
No, just off the display. No, I would need, improvements in terms of maybe some graphical improvements.
mhm.
I'd like a little bit of graphical improvements. Some would it be the processor in terms of the ability to run games better? Would that
Um,
be would that be a processor improvement?
yeah. So we actually talked about that in a group text with John, who's been on the show several times. And essentially, there's two ways they could do it. One way, they beef up their GPU hardware and they make it like native 4K, right?
Mm,
Which is is very hard to do for the Switch because it's such a tiny little console. You know,
yes,
it's not a big boy console.
like PlayStation 5,
Yeah,
which it takes an entire room.
it's like a spaceship.
It's a server.
It's a
It's a
server.
server, but it's like like an IBM server from like the 1980s.
Funny enough, so I saw a story. We're not covering it. Some guy, he pretended it was a new router, so he tricked his wife.
Yo, no. I think it was a humidifier.
Oh, what is it? Was it? Because the one I read, it
Yeah.
said it was a new Wi-Fi
Oh,
router.
oh, the
There's
one that
probably multiple guys.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
there's
Exactly. The one I
probably
read was a humidifier, and then the wife was like, F that noise.
so. but yeah, so in the case of like native 4K, they would need a new GPU, which I don't think they can do, and just with the size of the Switch. But the what was it, a DLSS or something like that?
Yes.
Um, that is
AI.
artificial intelligence upscaling of to 4K, right? So they could do that, and all they would have to do is put like a processor in there that's capable of upscaling the graphics
Yes.
after the fact, and then that's what they would push out through the HDMI.
Well, I want a beefier console, not in terms of like running like next gen, and by next gen I mean
Mhm.
current gen, like PlayStation 5, Xbox One Series X type of games, not like that,
Yeah.
but in terms of just running Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity without so many frame drops.
Yes. Yes.
That's what I'm looking for. And if I get that much of an improvement, which is just like a half step
Yeah.
before, like an actual, next Switch 2 release,
Hmm.
I would probably do that. It'd be like, the 3DS and the new 3DS.
Yes.
I got the new 3DS and I thought the improvements were substantial enough. The loading times were improved.
Hmm.
Yes, there were specific games that you could only play on the new 3DS, but there wasn't that many. But and the stick, the
Hmm.
C stick was also an improvement.
Yes.
So yeah,
So
no, I would definitely get on that train if they did like a new Nintendo Switch.
okay, I get what you're not just an
How
iterative
about
upgrade.
yeah, exactly. If it's just the screen, nah,
Okay.
nah.
Okay. So and I will say that the screen only being 720p is also an issue to some people
Why? Oh,
because
well, I
that's
mean,
but
it's so close to you.
it
It
is.
doesn't make that substantial of a difference.
But yeah, but what I would say is the fact that it's an OLED, the quality of the screen, it's an OLED screen.
It'd be a marked improvement.
That yeah, it would be an improvement, and it would negate the fact that it's only 720p because an OLED screen is just brighter and clearer. So
The thing is that I play predominantly on docked mode,
mhm.
and in docked mode,
Same here.
I have it connected to an M Classic,
Hmm.
which improves the look just a little bit,
Yeah,
and I have it connected to a 65-inch Samsung OLED. So
yeah,
I already got that covered.
yeah. You do. So yeah, you wouldn't need it. That you wouldn't need an upgrade like that. You would want
Yeah,
a power
in terms of
boost.
the portable
Yeah,
nature.
yeah. And we're not saying I'm not saying that you know native 4K or go home because I realize the size constraints.
Yeah.
But I would say that like a
The,
faster processing, less drop frames would go a long way.
oh,
Yeah,
definitely, especially with a game like Monster Hunter Rise along the horizon. Like I'm excited for that game, but I'm also kind of wary especially with how Hyrule Warriors, which is, practically first party Nintendo game, having
yeah,
so many technical issues.
yeah. That is a shame. And you're waiting to play it, right?
Yes,
Until they
yes.
at least until they address the bugs,
I
right?
think that's the story of like 2020/2021. Like getting games and just waiting to play them, like Cyberpunk
Yeah,
2077.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, I have it, but I'm waiting until they clear that junk out.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It's painful. It's painful.
Mhm.
Okay. All right.